Hello and welcome. Have you heard about the Caterpillar Club? This is a club founded by Leslie Irvin of the Irvin Air Chute Company of Canada in 1922. People who have successfully used a parachute to bail out of a disabled aircraft can join. Why Caterpillar? Well, caterpillars are the silkworm of the silk moth. Silk threads made the original parachutes, thus recognizing the debt towards the silkworm. Life depends on the silken thread is the club's motto. Leslie is credited with inventing the first free fall parachute in 1919. There had been parachutes stored in canisters used in World War I to save lives of German pilots, but these weren't free fall. The British didn't provide any parachutes for fear that pilots might choose to bail out rather than fight. It was in 1878 that Australian gas balloonist Henry L'Estrange made the first emergency parachute descent from a balloon, a whole 50 years before the Caterpillar Club formed. After authentication by the parachute maker, applicants receive a membership certificate and a distinctive lapel pin. The nationality of the person whose life was saved by the parachute and ownership of the aircraft are not factors in determining qualification for membership. Anybody whose life was saved by using a parachute after bailing out of a disabled aircraft is eligible. The Airborne Systems Company of New Jersey continues the tradition of certifying members and awarding pins to this day. Irving Parachute Company credits William O'Connor at Mount Cook Field near Dayton, Ohio, as the first person to be saved by an Irvin parachute, but this feat was unrecognised. That was 24th of August 1920. On the 20th of October 1922, Lieutenant Harold R. Harris, chief of the Mount Cook Field Flying Station, jumped from a disabled learning PW-2A monoplane fighter. Shortly after, two reporters from the Dayton Herald, realising that there would be more jumps in the future, suggested that a club should be formed. Harris became the first member, and from that time forward, any person who jumped from a disabled aircraft with a parachute became a member of the Caterpillar Club. Other famous members include General James Doolittle, Charles Lindbergh, aviation pioneer Augustus Post, Larry Scrappy Bloomer, and astronaut John Glenn. The first woman to become a member was Irene McFarland in 1925. At the end of the Second World War, the number of members wearing Irvin pins had grown to over 34,000, though the total people saved by Irvin parachutes is estimated to be 100,000. Other parachute manufacturers provide pins to successful jumps and present plaques to those who packed the parachutes. A nice touch, recognising the importance of a well-packed chute. Alas, during World War II, RAF Sergeant Nicholas Alcomede didn't earn a membership. He bailed out of a RAF Avro Lancaster without a parachute and landed uninjured in a snowdrift. He didn't meet the criteria, though I doubt whether he cared. More recently, a group of 12 skydivers were denied membership when one of them fouled the plane's tail on exiting the plane and caused it to fall from the sky. He died in the crash, but the other 11 parachuted to safety. They didn't qualify because it had been their original intention to jump from the plane. The pilot, however, was admitted to the club. There is another club formed to recognise successful escapes from a disabled aircraft, but this time into water. This is the Goldfish Club. To qualify, you must have escaped from an aircraft by parachuting into the water or been in an aircraft that crashed into the water and were saved by a life jacket, inflatable dinghy or similar device. The Goldfish Club was formed in November 1942 by Robbie Robertson, the chief draftsman at the United Kingdom's P.B. Cow and Company, one of the world's largest manufacturers of air sea rescue equipment. After hearing of the experiences of airmen who had survived a ditching at sea, Robson decided to form an exclusive club for airmen who owed their lives to the life jacket, dinghy, etc., enabling members to exchange information and their experiences. The first female to join was Gloria Pullen, who ditched in 1911 from a vintage Blériot monoplane on an attempt to fly across the English Channel. Members are presented with a heat-sealed, waterproof membership card just in case they make another water landing in the future. Due to World War II wartime regulations, production of metallic embroidered badges was prohibited and all cloth was severely rationed. These problems were overcome with silk embroidery substituted for wire upon black cloth cut from old evening dress suits that were sent by readers of the London Daily Express. By the end of World War II, the club had 9,000 members from all branches of the Allied forces. The club attempted to end the granting of memberships, but applications continued to arrive. When Robinson left PB Cow in 1947, he retained the club records and continued operating at his own expense. American pin-up girl and actor Mae West made it clear that she took great pride in the fact that members of the RAF had adopted her name for their life jackets. I can't imagine why there is a similarity between an inflated vest on an airman and Mae West. Helicopter crews predominate recently since ditchings are rare amongst modern combat aircraft. Richard Branson escaped from his transatlantic balloon but declined membership, thus denying them the first lighter-than-air Goldfish. Today, there are over 500 members around the world. Thank you for watching. Encourage new content by liking and subscribing.